Hello guys, welcome to our channel 10 minutes code, and today we are going to solve the fifth problem of our Leetcode, which is longest palindromic string, substring. So here two examples are given. This is little bit tricky and we are going to solve this using two pointers, okay, left and right. I will show you. Just take a input as BABAD, and here the longest substring is BAB, and we have to check the longest substring is palindromic substring or not. So what we have to return exactly is we have to return the palindromic substring and which is the longest palindromic substring. Okay, it should be palindromic as well as the longest among all the palindromic substring in the input. Okay, let me take you to the example. So what we are going to do, the approach we are going to follow, first of all, the easiest approach was we are going to use two for loops, for loop inside for loop, and we have to check every other substring. For example, this B and then BA, then BAB, then BABAD, and then this all. This is how the time complexity will become O of n cube. Okay, so this was not accepted by this Leetcode, so I found another solution for this, and this it's a little bit tricky solution, but it's an easy one, so code will be easy, okay, not so complicated. So let's start with the video. So first I'm going to explain how we are going to approach this problem. So what we are going to do is, let me keep this as little bit big. So we are going to take one string, we are going to take one character from the string. For example, I'm taking B, and then we are going to check if B is a palindrome. Of course, a single character is always a palindrome. Okay, so what exactly is palindrome? For example, this ABA, when it's read from the left it's ABA, and when it's read from the right then also it's all ABA, so it should read the same from both the direction, then it's a palindrome. Yeah, ABA and ABA from left and right, okay, it's a palindrome. And B is also palindrome because when we read the left from it reads as B, and when we read from right it also reads as B. That's how it's a palindrome. Okay, now we are going to create I pointer which will point towards every character. Okay, and we are going to create left and right pointer which will first point to the ith element. Okay, so there are two cases here. First of all, let me show you. This is the odd number and this is an even number. Okay, so in odd number, first in odd number what we are going to do, we are going to initialize left with I and right with I. But in the case of even number, we are going to initialize left with I and right with I plus 1 because it's an even. Okay, so we are going to do that. Okay, these are the two edge cases. So first of all, let's see with BABAD as an example. Now here left is B and right is also a B. Okay, now we are going to check if first we are given two conditions. Right should be less than equal to size, so it should not exceed the size of the current string, and left should be more than equal to 0, means it should not be less than 0. If it's less than 0 then the loop will terminate. Okay, and it's more than size then also loop will terminate. So these are the two conditions. And the third condition is if left is equal to right, then we are going to increment right by right and left by left. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Let me take a minute. So first of all, I is at B index, so I is at B. So we are going to check if L is equal to R. Yeah, it's L is equal to R. Then we are going to increment right by 1 and L by 1. Okay, let me write the value of L. Now the value of L is -1 because it is before the first index, and its right value is 1. Okay, now the loop will terminate because L has become -1. Okay, so after termination we are going to check if the palindromic string, now the palindromic string is how we are going to check the palindromic string. If left, the distance between the left and right will be the palindromic string, so there B is a palindromic string. So yeah, we are going to, and then the next we are going to check if this palindromic string length is bigger than the current length, so it's bigger than 0, then we are going to write the palindromic string here. Fine. Now the loop will terminate and I will increment by A, increment to A, and L will be here and right will all be here. Now the next step, this will be 1 and this will also be 1. Now it's a palindrome, yeah, A is a palindrome, then but it's not more than length is equal to length, so we are, let me increment, so length was 1, so we are not going to, we are going to first, okay, so first we are going to increment because L is equal to R, then we are going to increment. So this is how it's gonna work, left will move to left and right will move to right. Now we are going to check if S of A left and S of right is equal, yeah, B and B is equal. So what we are going to do, we are going to increment again, okay, it will come here and it will come here. Let me write the index here. So it will now be -1 and it will now be 0, 1, 2, 3, it will be 3, fine. So here it is come out of range, so the distance between left and right, this is the string BAB, so and BAB length is more than the current length, so we will write here BAB and the length will be 3, okay. Now, so how we are going to calculate length? We are going to calculate by right minus left minus 1, so 3 minus 1 which is 3 plus 1 and 4 and 4 minus 1 which is 3, so we are going to write here 3, okay. Now it will increment to B and left will be here, okay. Now we are going to check if B, yeah, B is just, they are equal. Now we are going to move here and these are also equal, so we are going to move here, but B and D is not equal, so it will terminate, and we are the distance between the left and right will be ABA, string between the left and right, so ABA is not more than 3 which is equal to 3, so we are not going to change anything and it will terminate, and I will come to this one, left and right. So left and right are equal, so it will move left and right, and BD is not equal and it's not more than current length, so it will terminate and I will move here. So it's equal, yeah, so right will move here, so right is more than size, then we will terminate, and this D is not more than length, so this is how we got our palindromic string which is BAB. This is how it's gonna work. So let's write the code for this, okay. So we are going to write two conditions. If the palindromic is odd, okay, if it's odd, then what is going to happen is it will run the first condition, and if it's even, then it's run the second condition, fine. So what we are going to do to store the palindromic string, we are going to create an empty palindromic string, and then we are going to create a length which will be 0 at the start, okay. So for loop will run from int I is equal to 0 and I is less than s dot size and I plus plus. So now this is for the odd, so we are going to assign L as, let me write int L as I and int right as also as I, fine. Now we are going to check the condition while L is more than equal to 0 and R should be less than s dot size, and the third condition will be and s of L should be equal to s of R. So I have told you this three condition: L should be more than equal to 0, R should be less than size of the current string, and s of L and s of R should be equal, then only it's a palindrome, okay. Now if it's a palindrome, then we are going left by 1 and right by 1, okay. Right will move towards right which is plus plus, and left will move towards left which is minus minus, fine. Now after this while loop condition, we will get one palindromic string, and that palindromic string we are going to check if it's more than length. So if R minus L minus 1, so what exactly is this? So this is finding the length of that current palindromic string, so it will be denoted by R minus L minus 1, because after this L will increment by 1, decrement by 1, and R will increment by 1, so we are going to write right minus left minus 1, okay. If it's more than length, then what are we gonna do is we are write palindromic substring and s dot substring Here we will pass L plus 1. Why L plus 1? Because L has been decremented by 1. Okay, so here we are going to write L plus 1, and here we are going to write R minus L minus 1. That's fine. So this will provide the substring to the palindromic substring. Okay, and we are going to assign this length value, and palindromic substring dot size will be the now the length value. Okay, now we are going to copy this whole thing and we are going to write for even number. Okay, so for even there is only one condition which is different, so it will be right will be I plus 1. That's fine. So everything else will be same, and now at the last what we are going to do is we are going to return per string. Let's check if it's any problem. The test case has been passed. Let's submit this code. Yeah, it's submitted successfully, and 93.07% has been runtime and memory 58.89. That's fine. So let me review this code first. So we are creating a palindrome string. To store the palindrome string, the length will be assigned as 0 at the first, and we are running the for loop from 0th index to the s last index of the s. So we are assigning left is equal to I and right is equal to I in case of odd, and left is equal to I and right is equal to I plus 1 in case of even number. And we are checking while left is more than equal to 0 and R should be less than size. Okay, and if s of L is equal to s of R, then it's a palindrome. Okay, we all know that if BA being BAB, if we are checking BB, if it's equal, then only it's palindrome, and AA is equal, then it's palindrome. But if the BA is not equal, so BA is not a palindrome. This is how it's gonna work. So then we decrement and we will check the outer value. Okay, suppose we have checked B, then we will increment left here and right here, and the outer value we are going to check. So this is also a palindrome. So it will work until our condition will be false, which is left or right will be equal, or any of these three conditions. Then right minus left minus 1 is more than length, which is the length of the current palindrome. So then we are assigning the palindrome string as the current palindrome, and the length will be assigned as palindrome string dot size. So that's same thing for the even number, but right will be I plus 1. That's all. So at the last we are going to return palindrome string. So for more Leetcode problems, machine learning and web development, just subscribe at 10 minutes code. Thank you.